Hello everyone, I am Sunil Kumar, and in this video I am going to talk about the next CPU scheduling, which is shortest job first. So SJF, shortest job first. Now what is the criteria for execution? Shortest job first, worst time is the criteria. Now what is the meaning? Means we are going to execute process based on the worst time, whichever is having shortest shortest worst time or smaller worst time, that process is going to be executed. Now what is the mode? So first we are going to execute like non-preemptive SJF, then we are going to talk about the preemptive SJF also, which is SRTF. Now so mode in this non-preemption, and criteria is worst time. So let us execute how it is going to be executed. So let us, okay, so this is ready queue. Now in ready queue at time t equal to 0, it is starting at t equal to 0. Now is there any process which arrives at time t equal to 0 in ready queue? Now let us see the arrival time. There is no process which arrives in ready queue at time t equal to 0. Then CPU has to wait for 1 second. CPU has to wait for 1 second, and it needs to check is there any process which arrives at t equal to 1. So this is what CPU idle time. CPU idle time. Now again CPU is checking is there any process which arrives into ready queue at arrival time 1. By this time is there any process? So now we are going to check. Now by this time only one process, which is P1. So this P1 arrived at arrival time 1. So now P1 is in ready queue. Now for how much time P1 wants to execute? It wants to execute for 7. So it will completely execute. So it is going to be 8. Correct. Now we have executed up to 8 seconds. So by this time, how many processes arrived into ready queue? All the processes arrived into ready queue. So it arrived at time 2, it arrived at arrival time 3, it arrived at arrival time 4, it arrived at arrival time 5. So means we have executed to 8, and by this time every process are available in the ready queue. So in what sequence they came into ready queue? So P2, then P3, then P4, then P5. See, this is interesting. Now P1 is already executed. Now in what sequence this remaining process will execute? So what is the criteria in this? Criteria is worst time. Worst time means what? So whichever process is having smallest worst time, that process will be executed. Now we will compare all the worst time for every process. Now what is the worst time for P2? P2 worst time is what? 5. What is the worst time of P3? 1. Worst time of P4 is what? 2. Worst time of P5 is what? 8. Whichever process is having lowest worst time, that process will be executed. So which among these four worst time, which one is the smallest? P3 worst time is the smallest. So P3 will get P3 will be executed. So P3 is going to be executed. So P3 is going to be executed for how much time? 1 second. So it is going to be 9. Now P1 is P3 is executed completely. Then remaining out of these process, which process is having smallest worst time? So next, which is P2, which is P4. So P4 is going to be executed for how much time? It is going to be executed for 2 seconds. So it will become 11. So this is also done. Now so process P2 is remaining and process P5 is remaining. Which process will execute first? So obviously P2 is going to be executed first, because it is having lowest worst time and it is having greater worst time. So it is going to be executed. So P2 is going to be executed first. For how much time P2 is going to be executed? 5. So it is going to be 16. Then last it is going to be executed P5. P5 is going to be executed last. So it is going to be 24. It is going to be 24, correct. Okay, now let us calculate the completion time of every process. Completion time of every process is going to be what? Completion time of every process is going to be, so what is the completion time of P1? P1 completion time is 8. So it is going to be 8. Completion time of P2 is what? 16. Completion time of process P3 is what? 9. Completion time of process P4 is what? 11. Completion time of P5 is what? P5 is what? 24. Correct. Now what is the turnaround time? Turnaround time, we know what is the formula for turnaround time. Turnaround time is nothing but completion time minus arrival time. So it will become 7. It will become 14. It will become 6. It is going to be 7, and it is going to be 19, correct. Okay, then similarly we can calculate the average waiting time for every process. What is the waiting time for every process? So what is the formula? Turnaround time minus watch time. So it is going to be 0, and it is going to be what? 14 minus 5 is going to be 9. So it is going to be 5. It is going to be 5. Yes, and it is going to be what? 19 minus 8 is going to be 11. Correct. Okay. So see, if you calculate average turnaround time is going to be so 8 plus 7 plus 14, what? 21 plus 6, 27, 21 plus 6 is going to be 27 plus 7, 34 plus 19, you can calculate. 34 plus 19 is going to be 53. Correct. 53 divided by number of process. How many number of processes are there? Total 5. So 10 point. So this is what the average turnaround time. How to calculate average waiting time? Average waiting time is going to be, now 9 plus 5 is going to be 14 plus 5, 19 plus 11 is going to be 30 divided by number of process, which is 5. So it is going to be 6. So 6 is what? Average waiting time. So this is how you can calculate the average waiting time and average turnaround time in